I went to Laguna Beach actually, and so I think my wife had school or something that day. She had a lot of studying to do, and I wasn't really comfortable putting on my own makeup yet at that point. So I got into my own clothes, or clothes that we shared, and then I sat down on the edge of the tub, and she put my makeup on, you know the the full bit, foundation and eyeshadow, mascara, the lipstick, everything. And I had bought this wig online, I think for like $35 or $40 or something. It was super long. It came down to about like here, but the hairline was terrible. Not a passable hairline at all. And so I borrowed this hat she had, this cute kind of a hat, and put that kind of on my head there so that it covered up that hairline. And I drove down to Laguna Beach. And there's a park there that kind of runs along the cliff. So I parked kind of down at one side of the park, and I decided I was going to go for a walk through the park. And I had a purse. I think I borrowed a purse from her. I didn't have any of my own purses yet. I might have had a pair of shoes though. I think I had my own pair of shoes by that time. So I went for a walk through this park, and maybe I walked past maybe 50 people or something, maybe 100, I don't know. And nobody, it was kind of a long park, maybe a mile or so long. Nobody really seemed to notice me. There was a couple of people to get me a little bit of funny looks, but nobody said anything. It was just, nobody really thought anything of it. I was super nervous though. Super nervous. And, I'd be walking down the path and I'd see people coming towards me, and everything in me just wanted to turn around and go the other way, or anything, but just keep walking past them and smile. But I didn't. I kept walking and, smiled. I don't think I said hi to anybody. Even if they said hi to me, I definitely wasn't comfortable with my voice yet. And it hasn't changed. It's just I wasn't comfortable with it yet. So I went to the end of the park, and then I turned around and walked back, and I'm like, okay, well, that wasn't that bad. That really wasn't a big deal. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll go to the mall. So I got in my car and I drove, I don't know how many miles, maybe 15 minutes down Pacific Coast Highway to an outdoor mall in Newport Beach called Fashion Island. And so I walked around out there for maybe another hour and a half or something, and came across maybe another 100 or 200 people walking around. Nobody noticed me or really paying any special attention to me, which was good. I mean, that's what I wanted. I was so afraid people are going to point and stare. What's going to happen? I don't know. But nobody noticed anything at all. And about that time, my wife actually called me. She knew I was out having my first time out. She was done with whatever homework or whatever she was doing, and asked if I wanted to have lunch. So I was like, yeah, totally. So we met at a little Mexican chain called Rubio's in Laguna Hills, and we had lunch. We met in the parking lot, and we walked in, and I sat down while she got up and ordered the food. And it was a really scary moment because I was sitting there in the restaurant, and this is my first time out of the house. It was different when I was walking around because I could kind of walk past people, and I only had to look at them for a couple of seconds. But now I was sitting there for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or something in a crowd of people. It was quite packed. And, honestly, nobody really paid any attention to me. I was just some lady having Mexican food. So we finished our Mexican food, and she asked me to go to the ladies' room with her, which I was super scared and nervous about. So we got up there, and we got up and went to the ladies' room and did our lipstick, put it back, touched it up because we'd been eating. And then we went home. And when I got home, I thought, wow, that wasn't really that bad. I was so scared of doing it. But once I did it, it was nothing. And so that was it. So that was my first time actually being out of the house as a woman. So I'm really curious to know, what is your first time being out of the house? Go ahead and talk about that down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And thank you for listening.